Yes, and let's make sure this is happening here. Okay, we got the box down. Just making sure some procedure happens here. Glaive pick. Now, let's see how Zack Attack decides to pick here. Again, that Ardent, you can see on the side of Ardent, I could go Crystal Power, I could go Weapon Power. What is Zack Attack going to choose to try to make sure that he is capable of taking things on both sides? Looks like he's going to be waiting for the last second here. Are we going to, oh, we're going to see that Jewel. We saw a great Jewel.
We're going to have to be careful. So on the side of Ardent, they're going to have to be building that metal jacket to defend against that double monocle. And we're also going to see Ardent, which is really good. You have that speed increase, you have that Vanguard, and you could separate out the teams on top of the rocket leaps for double stuns now. And now we're trying to see what looks like Green Ranger is going to be hovering over that Lance and Sky. Good picks to be going in against that Joel and Arden, trying to see what they want to do for that last position. We have seen OMG United take this as a lane Jewel, but majority of the time they are hovering on over the Adagio pick. They're going to lock it in, so that is going to be a jungle Jewel.
I really do like on the side of Ardent Gaming. I mean, you don't see as many weapons guys in this current patch, but they really have the potential from the beginning of the game to kind of go either way. It's giving them that little bit of an air of mystery going in. Both sides have one character that's some serious range, one that gets up nice and close. Both builds on both teams are just really, really solid. I think, I mean, that last game, it was pretty even until we got to see Arden starting to take the lead. This might be another game that's really solid and close till the end.
But nonetheless, both these teams are one win away from going into the finals or being sent off to the third and fourth place. That will be shown, not be shown off stream, because right after this, we're going to be going right into the finals for a best of 5 match, trying to see what they want to do. But we are on the fold. This game is going to decide who's going to face Team Synergy in the finals.
Yes, and as we're already getting a little bit of a look here, we see a little bit of weapon power. We're seeing Boots coming right away on ILS. That's kind of interesting. Wants to make sure, absolutely sure, does not get caught out in this early game aggression. Maybe this game's going to be a little different. They have some of the heroes for it. We're going to see them come in for a fight, or no?
I would not think it, because like I said, that middle treant is not worth it. It's just not at that place where it is worth taking and trying to fight over for an early game advantage. But protecting your middle treant and your fronts are well more worth than trying to go after that middle treant. Now, if you do get a free middle treant, by all means, take it. But your middle treant and also the fronts are going to be well more valuable than that middle treant.
And we're going to see here right now, Jewel is able to clear out that jungle a lot faster and rotate up. Going to be a little bit more to help on that defense in case the fight breaks out here early. Green Ranger, I don't think know that Snipes is in there, so he's got to be careful or else he's going to end up having a bit of a surprise attack.
And with that, Snipes just walking out, going to be throwing out the Thunder Strike right there. I don't think I can call that a Thunder Strike. I can call that an Ice Breath. Can we rename the abilities here? They're not matching the skills that we see in game.
Exactly. I mean, if we're going to have awesome skins, we got to have awesome abilities to go with it and fix all those names up.
But regardless, about 2 minutes in, we haven't seen any First Bloods be traded yet. Neither that 300 gold, so we're just going to have to see how's it going to go. But still, I have to say, I'm very impressed with the composition right now that Ardent is running. If they can lock down the Impale, then an Afterburn, it's just Ills is going to be able to do all sorts of damage, get that Frostburn, and then just do enough damage to slow down anybody on the other team and end them with either Death from Above or Surrey Strike.
Yes, and we're also going to see, definitely keep an eye out for some early Crucible. Like, they're going to want it right away. You see Arden and you see Adagio on the same team. You're going to want that. Ooh, it looks like we're going to get a little bit of a fight here.
And here
right
comes
now.
the Afterburn right on Zack Attack, trying to see what they can do. This is going to be the very first blood for Ardent Gaming. So that's a nice 600 gold going towards laid to rest.
Yes, it looks Zack Attack just getting a little bit out of position there, which is really unfortunate for him. But not much he can do there now. Oh, I see
That is
another
a
hero going
second kill.
down.
That is a trade 1-to-1. No, this might be 2 kills. That is a double kill. 4 snipes going against Ardent eSports. Beautiful trade. Now it has swung back into OMG United's way.
And we might see okay, we're gonna see the afterburn there. As I say, we might even see a chance at another one. No, definitely gets out of that escape. I guess that's just their way of telling them, hey, you take down Zack Attack, you have to take down the rest of us. That was an awesome way to just get a little bit of a revenge there and not let them get the early lead on them.
I mean, just very beautiful how OMG United is handling themselves right now. Even just, and this is what I was saying before, now that you have the players on their main roster positions and you actually swap out one of your weaker roster members for one of our stronger ones, swapping out somebody's for snipes, which we have seen is a great jewel player. So you're gonna have to watch out as soon as that middle game happens where you get that double monocle. It's gonna be scary. But here we see a fight breaking out. Whoa, massive damage coming out from that impale and crit from both Green Ranger and Laid to Rest. It's going to be an easy kill for Ardent eSports going into that Githian wall right on to Epic Man. Try to see what they can do. No, unfortunately, no afterburn that was available. It was still on cooldown.
Yes, and it looks like right now Zack Attack, I don't want to say Zack Attack's the weak link, that's not true, but he's able to be called out and hit out on so many different occasions. He really needs to start playing more carefully, positioning himself a little more carefully. You don't want to keep giving those kills to him, and it looks like we have another hero kill.
And with that, actually, Snipe had actually gotten himself caught out when he was trying to rotate up to lane, and unfortunately, Ardent had spotted him before he had a chance to actually jump over the wall to the lane.
All right, and now look at you got to look out here, guys. Don't go in too deep. Zack Attack getting a little bit close there. I mean, when you don't have your teammates close by and you've been keeping on getting ganked, you really want to be careful. And on top of this, though, we're not seeing vision really on the side of OMG United.
And with that, right now is about 5 minutes and 30 seconds into the game, about 2,000 gold ahead and a kill ahead for Ardent eSports. So we're just gonna have to see how they can do it. Honestly, right now, if OMG United can just hold their own until the middle game. Oh, loads of damage coming right onto it. Afterburn right on the snipes. There goes the fountain. Trying to see, and that's gonna be another kill. No rocket leap. Rocket jump is gonna be stunning up anybody, and now just Zack Attack and Epic Man are just going to be farming out a little bit of that lane. Laid to Rest is going to farm the enemy jungle, and Ardent eSports is just going to carry themselves into the middle game with the lead.
Also, take a look at those build paths. I see weapon on both Sky and Glaive.
And one thing I want to mention is we actually might see CP Glaive. The way it's looking right now is, even though we have a tension bow, we're starting to see the Storm Crown actually starting to be built for that. Actually, no, you would be right. Is Laid to Rest is going into that tension bow for early damage, going onto Snipe and also onto Zack Attack. So he wants that early game advantage going into the middle game and propel it. But the further this game goes on, the less that tension bow is going to do work.
Yeah, tension bow is one of those. Just in case here, okay, just a little bit of pokes. Tension bow is one of those items that you get that one big boom. That's it. And maybe he's hoping to get that one big boom when he gets in there and tries to get someone out of position. But there's other items. If you really want to have, a pure weapon power, you're right. You want to have different items to work with. And so let's see if this choice ends up working out.
Impale is going to land. Death from Above is going to stun up Epic Man. Not much they're going to be able to do. Zack Attack is not in a good situation, and there goes Snipe. Ford Barrage is going to do a little bit of damage. But right now, yes, you are correct. Illos is weapon power, so all he can do is just jump around. And here comes, maybe we're going to see an afterburn. Githian Wall does land and stun up Zack Attack, but Laid to Rest trying to see what they can do. There is gonna, Snipe is not in a good position right now. First Judgment is gonna go down. One turret shot is not going to be enough. Ills is just taking too much damage, and unfortunately, he will be able to get that double kill, but it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, and it looks like that's a nice lead heading over now on the other side. OMG United is going to need to make sure that they get some solid plays here, make sure they don't let that lead get too far. It looks like right now those choices, that early choices on that glaive, is going to really be working out on the side of Ardent Gaming. They have a name. I know how to say it. I promise.
But Ardent eSports is definitely holding their own. It's just they can't fall behind right now. They can keep making these trades all day long as they're not losing the fights and they start losing that advantage, because they're 2 kills, 2,000 gold ahead. As long as they keep that, they don't give up objectives, they'll be in a better position. But here comes Sniper with the missed rocket leap. It's not going to be able to be enough, and just trying to see what they can do. There goes the Githian wall. There's the stun from the death from above and the afterburn. Ills is just a little bit sweaty right now as he does pick up that kill onto Snipe. So now they are now 4 kills ahead and still about 2,000 gold ahead. And Zack Attack and Epic Man need to rotate down and contest this miner, but unfortunately that's going to be an uncontested miner, and that's going to be another 300 gold going for and towards Ardent eSports.
Yes, and they really don't want them getting any more of a lead right now. They're actually starting to creep up on that gold lead along with their kill lead. They seriously don't want to see that happen. And you are right, it looks like we're going to be slowly getting into that crystal power glaive as well. So they've got that early game. They've already got a solid lead going. I mean, we're starting to see Jewel get a little bit more built now, but still not quite there yet to start landing those crits. They need to make sure that they can keep the advantage going their way and try to keep her down. And it looks like we might be getting into another fight, or just a little more poking.
And with that, actually taking a look at the Storm Crown Tension Bow build, I mean, we haven't seen this for a couple patches, but it does work in this scenario. Just doing enough burst damage for Ills to actually finish him off. Snipe doesn't know what to do. He only has a light armor, and he's just hoping that he does enough damage and crit to the other team before they can kill him. Unfortunately, he's a glass cannon. Here comes the damage. Zack Attack is going to be able to take it. Now Snipe is going to be in the worst position. Fountain is going to be popped, but that is not going to be enough. Ills is just being all sorts of sweaty right now, trying to see what they can do, because right now Laid to Rest just has that burst damage. Ill can finish it off. There goes another turret. 2 kills on the side for Ardent eSports, and they're just in the driver's seat.
Yes, and we're going to see them now again, as we have said this whole time. Objectives take games. They got themselves a gold mine. They got themselves the first turret, even more of a gold lead. And just right now, they're just really playing a really solid game. They need to be careful, though. There's that mine there. They know right now that Green Ranger is sitting in the shop. He's got to be a little bit careful. There we go. Now he's going to take out that mine, making sure that he's got a little bit more vision for himself as well. And we're seeing pretty standard builds now on the other side as well. Snipes really, really wanting to get that chance to get those crits in as soon as they can. Really needs to start getting that damage belting in, because we are not seeing a ton of defense being built on the other side, actually. So if Snipes can get there and they can get the right team fight, it might really work in their favor.
Yep, and there we go. Now we see the true damage, and we see tension shock build from Laid to Rest. This is working well in their composition, and not necessarily something that you think about until it actually starts happening, because you do the initial burst damage, and then you have Ills finish off the enemy team, and it works well for objectives like Gold Mine.
Yes, there's another decent payout collected. They couldn't really get into contested either. I mean, it was just like, we have this. Do you guys really want to come in and start this fight right now? And the answer on the other side is no. OMG United needs to find a way to start getting this momentum in their favor, because right now, all the momentum is on the side of Ardent.
I mean, one of the items that you should be looking to go after at this point, because of how bursty Laid to Rest is Zack or even Snipe. Snipe should be going after the armor. I agree with that one. But Zack, on the other hand, should be going into that husk. negating that burst damage before you have laid to rest do anything along with that. But here comes the fight. The first casualty of this fight is going to actually be Jewel on Snipe and also Zack Attack. Epic Man is running for his life. It's just too much damage in burst for OMG to handle, but that is why 2.1 does give new items, and unfortunately Zack Attack just did not pick up that husk to negate that burst damage from laid to rest.
And now it looks like Ardent's going to be able to get themselves another turret, another objective in their favor. And you're right, we saw this yesterday as well, a few times where people were not adapting to that burst damage by picking up Slungbrain Husk. It is a solid item for when you're getting burst down like that, and that fortified health can be what you need to survive long enough in fights to get their damage doers dead.
You are correct. Well, about 14 minutes in, about a little over a minute until Kraken does spawn. 13-4. I don't know what OMG needs to do to actually turn this completely around, because they are 7,000 gold behind. Now, we have seen them actually come back from a 4K deficit, but a 7K deficit. Apologize. 7K. I just can't talk tonight.
You know what? They're down 7K, and that's not easy to sometimes come back from. And we're seeing Snipes too with the infusion. Oh, Snipes building even more defense on the armor right now. I wonder how that's going to go when there's going to be at least a bit of crystal damage coming in from Glaive. If that defense is going to be solid, still no slumbering husk.
And here comes laid to rest. Huge amounts of burst damage. Gauntlet is going to stun up laid to rest. Large amounts, but that is not going to be enough for Versus Judgment going down. There we are. Afterburn is going to do enough damage right onto Snipe. And unfortunately, Epic Man is going to be the very last epic kill for Ardent eSports as they do go into. And Kraken is going to be spawning in about 5 seconds. So a beautiful actual ace to Ardent eSports. If they do stick around for just a second, they could take that Kraken, but it does look like they just want to actually take that crystal miner, take that another objective, and clear out the middles.
Ooh, are they going to go in? They are. They're going to be greedy and see if they can get both. They have had all of the momentum on their side this far, however, and to be honest, it looks like they're going to get this completely uncontested. And this is going to just be even more of an advantage. I mean, we're going to see at least one turret down, if not this final push to really clear out the rest of this game.
With that, Kraken is finally out on the fold and actually pushing for Ardent eSports right now and trying to see what they can do. Honestly, right now, what OMG United need to do, Gauntlet, separate one of the team, at least separate ills and get them killed, because honestly right now, if they keep fighting the way they have been, it's just going to be an easy Kraken push all the way to the end in Ardent eSports going into the finals.
I can agree there, and we're seeing that ult come out, not really hitting anyone. I mean, yes, weapon power, but still not, and we're going to get into a serious team fight right here.
Afterburn for Snipe. That is not going to be an easy Rocket Leap going away. There goes another Afterburn. He's going to separate the entire side, but the First Judgment isn't going to be doing much for the side of Ardent eSports. And Ardent eSports is going to be taking the game 2-1 as they do head into the finals for the TBCS against Synergy. As they do finish it, of course.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting there.
I called it early.
I mean, this, just because we do have a few minutes here, this does make me feel even more sad for that game 2. OMG eSports, that is just such an unfortunate thing when they had they even held pretty strong in game 2. Great games today, guys. You've shown us some awesome new stuff with Fortress. I mean, I'm going to definitely be picking up Fortress in a few more of my games, thanks to some of those plays by Epic Man.
I mean, the reason why this worked is because you had a weapon power Sky that nearly had a full build, a good amount of defense, and you also had a good amount of CC coming from Green Ranger, where you had the potential to finish off the enemy team because you did enough burst damage. Now, for laid to rest build, you don't have enough damage to necessarily kill and then finish them off, but you have enough damage to burst him down, where it leaves him with about a good chunk, about 25% of health, and that's where Ills comes in, finishes him off, and goes for the ace and ends the game.